Morning. I am Bhaskar, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, Sai Vidya Institute of Technology. In today's class, we are going to see some more problems in the jet transforms. Right. So in this, first problem should be find jet transform of n plus 1 whole square. Find jet transform of n plus 1 whole square. Now we'll write this one only. Solution n plus 1 whole square. So I will write in the form of n square plus 2n plus 1. Just I expanded in the form of a plus b whole square. Now jet transform I will apply on both sides. Jet transform of n plus 1 whole square equal to jet transform of n square plus 2 times of jet transform of n plus jet transform of 1. Jet transform of n square is nothing but, already we studied it in the formulas. Jet transform of n square is z square plus z divided by z minus 1 whole square. Z minus 1 whole cube. Okay, plus 2 into z transform of n is, what is that, 2 into z transform of n is z by z minus 1 whole square. Next, plus z transform of 1 is z divided by z minus 1. Now, if you will take LCM for this, you will get z minus 1 whole cube. Z minus 1 whole cube. So if you will take this one, should be z square plus z plus 2 times of z into z minus 1 plus z into z minus 1 whole square. Right. If you simplify, and if you simplify this, we'll get z square plus z plus 2z square minus 2z plus z into, I'm expanding this, we'll expand z square minus 2z plus 1 divided by z minus 1 whole cube. Now I'll write this one only if I'll simplify, z square plus z plus 2z square minus 2z plus z cube minus 2z square plus z divided by z minus 1 whole cube. Now this only I'll write here. See here, if you'll simplify this, some terms, what are the terms will get cancelled, we can see here z square is there plus 2z square minus 2z square. So z square plus 2z square is 3z square minus 2z square is again z square only will get. This is plus 2z. Here see z plus z should be plus 2z and minus 2z get cancelled. So z terms will vanish. Now remaining should be, what is that, z cube term is there plus z square divided by z minus 1 whole cube. Z minus 1 whole cube. This is z transform of n plus 1 whole square. Z transform of n plus 1 whole square is this one. Right. This is whole cube. Right. Next problem. Right. Find. Second question. Find z transform of 2n plus sine n pi by 4 sine n pi by 4 plus 1 is the problem. Right. How do you find this? Solution. Solution. Z transform of 2n plus sine n pi by 4 plus 1 equal to Z transform of 2n plus Z transform of sine n pi by 4 plus Z transform of 1. Z transform of 1. Now we know that in next sheet I'll write. So that equal to Z transform of 2n is there. 2 I am taking outside. 2 into Z transform of n plus Z transform of sine n pi by 4 sine n pi by 4 sine n pi by 4 plus Z transform of 1. Now 2 into Z transform of n. Z transform of n is nothing but 2z divided by Z transform of n. What is the Z transform of n is nothing but z by z minus 1 whole square. Already here 2 is there. If we multiply that one, 2z will get, right? Plus Z transform of sine n pi by 4. I will find it later. Plus Z transform of 1 is z divided by z minus 1. Z transform of 2 into Z transform of n is z by z minus 1 whole square. Plus this one I will find it later. Plus Z transform of 1 is z by z minus 1. Now I can evaluate this one. I will consider as equation 1. I will evaluate Z transform of sine n pi by 4 separately. You can evaluate Z transform of sine n pi by 4 separately. How do you evaluate sine n pi by 4? Now we know that already e power in pi by 4 equal to, we know that already we have done sine n theta. How do you find cos n theta? Same thing. E power I theta is, we know that e power I theta is cos theta plus I sin theta. The same concept I can apply here. E power in pi by 4 is nothing but cos n pi by 4 plus I sin n pi by 4. Cos n pi by 4 plus I sin n pi by 4 I'll write. This is e power in pi by 4. Now here I want to find sin n pi by 4 value. If you want to find sin n pi by 4 value, you will take general term and we will find it out. Now this one, say I'm taking e power in pi by 4 is there. So this one Z transform of I will take like this. This only I'll write Z transform of e power I pi by 4 whole power n. E power I pi by 4 whole power n I'll write. So here what I will take now, next step, this only I'll take k equal to e power I pi by 4 I'll take. So the time I'll take Z transform of, what is that? This one I'll write k power n. What is that? Z transform of k power n is nothing but, see, I'll write now. This one only I simplified. See, e power in pi by 4 I have written e power I pi by 4 into n. This one e power I pi by 4 I am taking as k. The time I will take it as k power n. Now Z transform of k power n is nothing but z by z minus k. In the place of k, just I am writing here z minus e power I pi by 4. E power I pi by 4. What is that? E power I pi by 4 is nothing but, we will write. So that equal to z transform of e power in pi by 4 equal to z by, divided by z minus e power I pi by 4 is nothing but cos pi by 4 plus I sin pi by 4. What is that? Cos pi by 4 plus I sin by 4 is nothing but z divided by z minus of cos pi by 4 is nothing but 1 by root 2 minus sin plus, here see, plus is there. If you multiply this one inside, minus will come, plus I into sin pi by 4 is 1 by root 2. Now, if I'll multiply this one inside, so I'll get z divided by z minus 1 by 2, z minus 1 by root 2 minus I divided by root 2. I divided by root 2. Now we'll take LCM and we will simplify. So I'll take like this, right? Z transform of Z transform of e power in pi by 4 equal to we'll write Z into, we'll rationalize that, we'll get denominator term should be, what is that? We know that Z minus 1 by root 2 minus I by root 2. So you will write Z into Z minus 1 by root 2 Z minus 1 by root 2 plus I into 1 by root 2 divided by Z minus 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2 minus I into 1 by root 2 into Z minus 1 by root 2 plus I into 1 by root 2. So just I rationalize this. Now if I'll simplify this, Z minus 1 by root 2 plus I into 1 by root 2 I into 1 by root 2 whole divided by, I'll write Z minus 1 by root 2 whole square 1 by root 2 whole square plus a plus b into a minus b is nothing but, I'll write it as this one 1 by 2 I'll write a minus b into a plus b is nothing but that a square minus b square. Here b term should be I 1 by root 2 is there. I square is nothing but here minus 1. That's the way it will become as plus 1 by 2. Now, if I'll simplify this, Z transform of e power in pi by 4 will get in the form of we'll expand this Z transform of e power in pi by 4. I'll write it as cos n pi by 4 plus I sin n pi by 4 equal to z minus 1 by root 2 plus I into 1 by root 2 whole divided by, if you'll expand this one, z minus 1 by root 2 whole square plus 1 by 2, if you'll expand, you will get z square minus root 2 into z plus 1. Root 2 into z plus 1. This is the required solution for the given, for that e power in pi by 4. But what I want here, I want only the imaginary term. Z transform of sine n pi by 4 only I want. If you want Z transform of sine n pi by 4 means equate imaginary terms here. I term should be, or that equate I coefficient, that is imaginary term. Equate imaginary terms on both sides. If you equate imaginary terms on both sides, you will get z into 1 by root 2 z into 1 by root 2 divided by z square minus root 2 into z plus 1. Now z transform of sine n pi by 4 is z into 1 by root 2 z square minus root 2 z plus 1. Root 2 z plus 1. Now I can substitute this value in equation 1. What is equation 1? We know that equation 1 is, what is that? Already I told here. In that equation 1, I'm going to substitute. So if you substitute in equation 1, you will get, so what is that left hand side? We know that. So substitute in equation 1. If you substitute in equation 1, what is that left hand side? Already we know that z transform of 2n plus z transform of 2n plus sine n pi by 4 sine n pi by 4 plus 1 equal to, this one should be, we can write 2z divided by z minus 1 whole square, z minus 1 whole square plus z divided by root 2 into z square minus root 2 into z plus 1, root 2 into z plus 1 plus z divided by z minus 1, which is the required solution for the given equation. For the given equation, the transform of 2n plus sine n pi by 4 plus 1. Simplification is this one. Right. Next problem. Right. Z transform of cos n pi by 2 cos n pi by 2 plus pi by 4 cos n pi by 2 plus pi by 4. Right. Solution. I'll take un equal to, just I'll take like this, un equal to cos of n pi by 2 plus pi by 4. Cos of n pi by 2 plus pi by 4. If only cos of n pi by 2 is there, means directly we can simplify. But here cos of n pi by 2 plus pi by 4 is there. This one I'm going to use in the form of cos A plus B. What is the formula of cos A plus B? Cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. Cos A is nothing but cos n pi by 2 cos A into cos B is nothing but cos pi by 4 minus sin A into sin B. Sin A is nothing but sin n pi by 2 n pi by 2 into sin B is nothing but sin pi by 4 sin A sin B. Now I'll write cos n pi by 2 into cos pi by 4 value should be, what is that, 1 by root 2 minus sin n pi by 2 n pi by 2 sin n pi by 4 is nothing but 1 by root 2. Now you will get un equal to 1 by root 2 into cos n pi by 2 minus sin n pi by 2 cos n pi by 2 sin n pi by 2. Now I'll apply Z transform for this. Z transform of un equal to 1 by root 2 into 1 by root 2 into Z transform of cos n pi by 2 minus Z transform of sin n pi by 2 n pi by 2. Now I will evaluate separately this. Already I told in previous problem how I have been simplified. In the same manner we can do here. Now I can take e power in pi by 2. E power in pi by 2 is nothing but, we can write this one only, e power I pi by 2 whole power n. So that equal to k power n. K is nothing but, what is that? E power I pi by 2. K is nothing but e power I pi by 2. So now I can write Z transform of e power in pi by 2 equal to Z transform of k power n. So that k power n is nothing but Z divided by Z minus k. What is the k here? Z divided by Z minus k is e power I pi by 2. Now e power I pi by 2, how do you write? We know that. So this equation you can consider as equation 1. Afterwards we will find it out. This cos n pi by 2 and sin n pi by 2 will substitute in that equations. Right. Now z divided by z minus e power I pi by 2 is nothing but cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2. I sin pi by 2. Now cos pi by 2 value should be, we know that. So z divided by z minus cos pi by 2 is 0. Sin pi by 2 is 1. So z divided by z minus I. Now we can write this only. Z transform of e power in pi by 2. Z transform of e power in pi by 2 equal to z divided by, here see, in previous what we have done, we know that, so z divided by z minus I is there. So how do you, we have to rationalize this. We'll rationalize this z divided by z minus I. So if we'll rationalize this, z plus I divided by z plus I. Now we can take z into z plus I divided by a plus b into a minus b is nothing but a square minus b square. Now you'll write z into z plus I divided by z square. I square is nothing but that minus 1. Minus of minus should be plus 1. This is z into z plus I divided by z square plus 1. But here, what that left hand side should be z transform of e power I n pi by 2 is there. This one I can write z transform of cos n pi by 2 plus I sine n pi by 2. I sine n pi by 2. Now we'll write, we can split this one. Z transform of cos n pi by 2 is just I can multiply, say cos n pi by 2 plus I sine n pi by 2 equal to, just if you multiply this, z square divided by z square plus 1 plus I into z divided by z square plus 1 I'll write. Now z transform of I will split real and imaginary terms. Cos n pi by 2 is z square divided by z square plus 1. Z transform of sin n pi by 2 is z divided by z square plus 1. This is the cos n pi by 2, sin n pi by 2 formulas. Right. Now I'm going to substitute this one in equation 1. Substitute in equation 1. So you can substitute in equation 1, z transform of un equal to So what is equation 1? Already I told. This is equation 1. So if you substitute, what you will get? 1 by root 2 into 1 by root 2 is there. Cos n pi by 2 is nothing but z square divided by z square plus 1 minus z divided by z square plus 1. Now, if you simplify this, you will get z into z minus 1 divided by root 2 into z square plus 1, which is the required solution for the given equation. Right. One more problem we'll see in this. Find z transform of cos h n pi by 2 plus theta. N pi by 2 plus theta. Cos h. Previously, cos n pi by 2. Here, cos h n pi by 2 plus theta. Right. How do you simplify this? Now, I'll take solution. I'll take un equal to cos h n pi by 2 plus theta. I'll take cos h n pi by 2 plus theta. This only I'll write. Cos hx is nothing but, you know that, 1 by 2 into e power n pi by 2 plus theta plus e power minus n pi by 2 plus theta. E power minus n pi by 2 plus theta. Now this only I'll write 1 by 2 into, this only I'll write e power theta into e power n pi by 2 plus e power minus theta into e power minus n pi by 2. e power minus theta into e power minus n pi by 2. Right. So if I'll simplify this, here e power n pi by 2 is there. How do you simplify that one? See, first term does not containing the n. So that's why it's a constant I'll treat. So in always here n terms only we are simplifying using Z transform. Right. Now we'll take Z transform. I will get Z transform of un equal to Z transform of un equal to 1 by 2 into e power theta into Z transform of e power n pi by 2 plus e power minus theta into Z transform of e power minus n pi by 2 n pi by 2. Now I can simplify e power n pi by 2 e power minus n pi by 2 is there. How do you simplify that one? See, I can write here only say 1 by 2 into e power theta into Z transform of e power pi by 2 whole power n I will write plus e power minus theta into Z transform of e power minus pi by 2 whole power n I will write. Right. Now we can simplify this 1 by 2 into e power theta into Z transform of k power n is z divided by z minus k. K is e power pi by 2. Now plus e power minus theta into z divided by z minus e power minus pi by 2. Right. Now how do you simplify this? How do you simplify this? You can take how do you simplify this one? Say 1 by 2 into, we'll take LCM. Here also z is there. Z we can take common outside. So it will take z outside. So e power theta into z minus of e power minus pi by 2 plus e power minus theta into z minus e power pi by 2. Just I took LCM. So and denominator should be what is that? Z minus of e power pi by 2 into z minus of e power minus pi by 2. Now I'll write so that equal to z by 2 into z into e power theta plus e power minus theta plus, so if you'll simplify this, e power theta into minus I will take outside e power theta into e power minus pi by 2 plus e power minus theta into e power pi by 2 divided by z minus e power pi by 2. If you'll simplify this also, we'll get z square minus z into e power pi by 2 plus e power minus pi by 2 plus 1. E power minus pi by 2 into e power pi by 2 is 1. So now we'll write z by 2 into z into e power theta plus e power minus theta. Here if we'll simplify this, we'll get minus of e power minus of first term should be e power pi by 2 minus theta. E power pi by 2 minus theta plus e power of minus of pi by 2 minus theta. We'll simplify this a power m into a power n. I have written a power m plus n format divided by z square minus z into e power pi by 2 plus e power minus pi by 2 plus 1 plus 1. the numerator term. Right, now I'll write z by 2 into z by 2 into. So now we know that already z into e power x plus e power minus x is nothing but cos hx. Here cos h theta, z into cos h theta. Here should be what is that? Here 2 also will come. 2z I'll write here. 2z into cos h theta minus e power pi by 2 minus theta I'm writing as 2 into cos h pi by 2 minus theta, pi by 2 minus theta divided by divided by z square minus 2z. Here e power pi by 2 minus e power pi by 2 is nothing but 2z into cos h pi by 2, cos h pi by 2 plus 1. This is the required solution, but here what are the common terms are there? That one will take out. Z transform of un equal to, if you take 2 outside, you will get z square into cos h theta, z square into cos h theta minus z into cos h pi by 2 minus theta, cos h pi by 2 minus theta divided by z square minus 2z into cos h, 2z into cos h pi by 2 plus 1, cos h pi by 2 plus 1. So which is the required solution for the given equation? What is that un? We know that. What is that un is nothing but, already I told, un is nothing but, we should know that un is that cos h n pi by 2 plus theta.